Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally rip-raring and ready to go by all things accounted for. I'm the Four-Core Jester. With me is the Shane Goocher, and I gotta say, you look good for someone out of retirement, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Welcome back to the scene.
Thank you, man. It's been a while. I'm glad to cast Heroes again, and I'm glad to cast this particular matchup. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are here with the Divergent Gaming Open, guys, amateur tournament. Now, will you consider TwoArk an amateur team? Well, we will leave that up to you. They've definitely been having a little bit more of a rough patch, but they are strong and willing to play. Other teams into here, of course, are going to be Gale Force Esports. They're in and around. Our first contest winners for going up against TwoArk is going to be Formation Gaming and King of Blades Alpha as well. They actually have a first-round match up against the Doodle Scooters.
The Doodle Scooters. I have to say, one of my favorite things about these amateur tournaments is the team names. They just go off the cuff, and we get in team names like Moist Encounters, things like that. So it's one of my favorite things about this. I believe the draft is about to be underway here. They're doing battleground striking here, it looks like, I believe. And let's take a look at that.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem. All right. So if they're just going to be doing maps, that's fine. They're just going to let us know when they are ready for that. TwoArk Gaming and Formation Gaming, they are up first. We do actually have team names now into our gaming in-game overlay. Thank you, Obs. I'm just so used to my own setup, Mr. Gooch. It's been a while since I've had to do all these manual button presses, but you know, we do it because we love the game and we love Divergent Gaming, and of course, none of this would be possible without their sponsor, Redwood. And Red Rook is, I don't actually know, but you know, it's a pretty cool logo, and I'm planning to check them out after this cast.
Yes, thank you for sponsoring an amateur series here in Heroes of the Storm. I love amateur series and amateur leagues because they help nurture and bolster a strong competitive environment. You get new talent, you get new teams, you get these dark horse teams that come in sometimes into like the more, higher level tournaments, and it all comes down to these sort of things that are being sponsored and being put on by all the people at Divergent and stuff like that. So make sure you guys give them the good support, because no competitive scene goes without very strong amateur scenes. So this is a good foundation for that, and hopefully we'll get this game underway. Just a moment here, guys. I've seen very little of this particular TwoArk lineup. Obviously, it's full of very familiar names, veterans of the scene. Obviously, Sheth, LZ Gamer, who at one point in time was on the Evil Geniuses team, dating back to Alpha. Sunshine has been around. Yes. Sunshine has been around for quite some time as well, and I've been watching these guys in the one of the in-house leagues that goes on, and all of those guys, Crone as well. His flex play is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal Thrall player, so I'd imagine he's a good flex melee assassin player as well. I'm excited to see these guys come together and see what they can put on the table, man. The other team I'm not very familiar with, but excellent news, guys. The battleground is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. The draft is underway, and we're finally going to get this match undergoing.
All right, so Tomb of the Spider Queen, a little bit of a smaller battleground, a lot of potential for melee assassins to kind of get in there down and dirty so that we can do the damage, do that pressure that they need to do. Safer picks like Zagara will, I guess we won't see her with that ban, but typically a safer pick like Zagara does a little bit worse on this one because of the proximity of the lanes and a lot of vents in and around the play. She is very susceptible to getting ganked.
For those of you who have paid any attention to the North America competitive drafting meta, you know that Zagara and Tyrande 9 times out of 10 are going to be the first two bans. Zagara can be interchangeable. Sometimes it's Thrall, Muradin, sometimes it's Kael'thas. But we see that first pick, Kael'thas, coming up from TwoArk Formation Gaming. I won't be surprised if we see a Muradin Jaina pickup. The team who gets those first two pickups in the first phase of the draft, obviously Muradin, widely considered to be one of the better warriors in this scene right now. Jaina complements Muradin. I love the Jaina Muradin composition. From the moment the gates drop to the moment the core goes down, it's a strong composition, gives you great roaming potential, but they are going to get the Muradin, complementing it with that Raynor instead. I do like that choice.
Yeah, I mean, the Muradin is definitely the 100% kind of go-to right now. He is the tank. He's been the steadiest here in Heroes of the Storm, and he can really just get down and dirty, as I said, with the best of them. I mean, he is a ridiculously hard guy to take down and unstoppable on that dwarf toss can actually lead to some really fun situations where he can just go in and then still safely escape. But pairing him with the Rainer, it would be very strange to me, I think, to see Formation Gaming to take a Jaina here, because I don't think 2ARC would run the double mages. You are just way too squishy in a team meta that requires a little bit more durability. So I like what 2ARC is doing here. Again, it would be very strange for them to kind of take that Jaina, so I like how Formation took the Rainer, but, you know, I told you a little bit earlier, the melee assassins, this is where Thrall will come to shine.
Absolutely, and especially in a map like this that yields itself well to early game aggression and roaming in between that mid lane and the bottom lane. I'm sorry, mid lane and top lane. Generally, you see you put a strong solo laner in that bottom lane, and you kind of quad lane around between the mid and the top is what we see normally. We'll see if these guys go with the standard tactics on that. But Thrall's great. He's great. Thrall has deceptively good lane presence. He's very versatile. You can put him in a lane by himself, and he usually can deal with your Zagaras, with your Tassadars, the guys who are known for being lane bullies and whatnot. Or you can put him in a roaming sort of position. He can go around and just catch people out, get ganks early on. Very versatile hero, deceptively tanky, and of course, level 10, he brings that great initiation tool of the Sundering.
It's all right. So with the bans now going back to Formation Gaming, ETC's out, very quick Jaina out there from 2ARC. I guess they are actually too much afraid of the Ice Queen. But if we are going to be trying to complement the formation here with that Rainer with a little bit of push, I wouldn't put Sylvanas out of the question here for Formation Gaming. I mean, with the Tyrande now picked up and the Uther already on the board, you know, take your pick. It really comes down to a roulette of the rest of the healers. You're very likely not to see up right wing, but higher up on that chart is, you know, the Monk has been seeing a lot of play. Rhaegar with the Ancestral Heal can still do wonders. And Medic, if it is going to be a little bit more of a very stun-heavy comp, and so far 3 CCs to the table for 2ARC, I would not be too surprised to see a Medic come out.
I like the Sonya pickup here. I think it complements Formation Gaming's lineup. Sonya thrives on this map, as well as the fact that it could be somewhat of a denial pickup from 2ARC. They'd have a pretty heavy front line in the Thrall to Sonya, plus another tanky warrior if that's the route they were going to go. But Sonya is more of, you know, she's categorized as a warrior, but we all know her as that assassin bruiser front line, get in the back line, Ancient Spear forward, and just lay out the big burst damage. And with this Sonya, I think the go-to healer here would be a Rhaegar. She needs that big burst healing. She needs that sustain to keep her in the fight without getting burst down or anything like that, especially against a composition. You look at 2ARC's draft, Thrall and Kael'thas already, they've built themselves up just huge amount of bursts. And now picking up the Tassadar, I like that as well. As I mentioned, you get a great solo laner in the early parts of the match to secure the lane phase in the first couple of levels, 4 to 7, put them in the bottom lane, give you all the vision in the world. It gives you zone control over the turn-in, and it keeps Sonya alive, gives her that damage mitigation she needs to enable her to get in that back line and do the damage she needs to do.
Well, that took actually a while for us to see the Tassadar come into that, but with the Sonya, sure, I agree with all the points, but a Tassadar coming in for Formation Gaming, if it is going to be a double heal comp, this is where 2ARC has to go really heavy. I mean, this is where you either bank everything on the Tassadar or you got to go into a double heals. And, well, I mean, what do you do? Tassadar Archon has not really been a thing of the last few months. It has been repeatedly nerfed. You don't take him for the damage. You take him for the utility and the control. The information game on Tomb of the Spider Queen will do fabulous for them, but I'm very curious about this last pick from them. Yeah.
Looking at the healer compositions, I got to think it's a Rhaegar. I do not see a solo Tassadar working against the composition of 2ARC. A heavy initiation, heavy burst. We see Leoric Falstad, obviously the N2 Mighty Gust comp 1-2 that we see picked up all the time. I think Rhaegar would be the go-to pickup here, and it is riding a lot on top of that Sonya. Sonya's going to be kind of the supplemental damage that needs to be in there. Obviously, Rainer's going to sit in the back line, and Rainer has decent frontline protection between the Murder and the Sonya, but I feel like Sonya is going to be – these team fights are going to come down. Can Sonya get into the back lines or do the damage she needs to do? Conversely, is 2ARC going to be able to do big burst? And there it is. I was just about to say, if it's not the Rhaegar, it's going to be that Kharazim. So we see that 2ARC has that double frontline in Leoric and Thrall, not the tankiest of frontlines, but it's going to be a double frontline nonetheless. And Kharazim, obviously, if he goes to that 7-sided Shrike, he's going to get some decent value out of that 7-sided Shrike.
All right, so the seven-sided definitely going to be coming into it. A solo tank Leoric has me a little bit curious, but it is 2-arc. They do have the brunt of everyone just kind of going with them since they are the more well-known team here compared to Formation Gaming. But with the Falstad, the big thing comes to mind here is the Entomb and Gust combination. I mean, Sonya until 13 will not be able to get out of that out of that Entomb. Neither will the Rainer. Of course, Murden can just jump over it. Tassadar will be able to invuln for a little bit. Seven-sided strike to delay a lot of the duration, but that combination I think is basically just won this game from 2-arc. Their initiation is on point, they can catch their opponents, and I'm not too sure with a Tassadar pickup Formation Game is going to be able to retaliate, but looks like we are ready to go.
So one of the strengths of Tassadar, again, especially on this map, because the lanes are so close together, is if the enemy team has a Thrall, which obviously 2-arc does, with that Oracle, especially level 4, you get the mental acuity. You always have that Oracle up. You always have that positional awareness. You always can get the beat on where Thrall is and try to just get yourself in a decent spread out and don't get initiated on heavily, right? And I think that as long as Formation Gaming is able to get that information that they need, they should have a decent, at least in their early game. Their early game is good. I like it. They have good wave clear. Obviously, Sonya with Whirlwind, Tassadar of Psionic Storm. This map, it comes down to a wave clear a lot because you're able to sweep in between those lanes and dictate the flow of the lanes, push them in, make the enemy team have to fall back or else they miss experience, miss soak. But 2-arc certainly has a lot more wave clear. You see a Kael'thas, you see a Thrall, you see a Leoric. All those guys have much better wave clear. So I think the early game actually, because 2-arc has the stronger wave clear, in my opinion, I think they're going to be able to dictate the flow a little bit much. Tassadar on that bottom lane is going to be very, very valuable, but the early game is going to come down to 2-arc. Formation Gaming, it's like I said, it's all riding on that Sonya, man, and I feel like 2-arc has a stronger draft here. Yep. Overall, I think their early game is good, their mid game is strong, heavy initiation with Thrall, Leoric and Falstad complement each other for the aforementioned reasons, and they can carry that momentum into the late game. And Tomb of the Spider Queen is a battleground where if you can get that early game, never let go, it's easy to ride the momentum.
Absolutely, and as we come into the game here, ladies and gentlemen, 2-arc here on the left-hand side, Formation on the right. Now, this is, as far as I recall, this is a best-of-1 here for the first few sets, so it's your best foot forward. Clearly, we both agree on Team 2-arc getting a little bit of a stronger draft. I think that their synergies are going to be a little too much for this team to handle, but as he said, if the Sonya and Shields and various Kerosene heals come to bear, it could actually be quite the fight on the hands here into the Tomb of the Spider Queen, but as we see, collect the gems, turn in the gems, summon the web weavers. Everybody knows the same old song and dance by now.
All right, guys, get into this match. I'm excited about it. It's all about that Sonya for Formation Gaming. Can she do what she needs to do? As far as the lanes go, I mean, again, I feel like 2-arc's laning, they can put Thrall in the bottom lane. He's a great solo laner. Leoric can be put in that bottom lane. He has decent lane sustain as well. Falstad's mobility, don't have to talk about it much. But we're inside of the game, guys. We're going to see this lane phase take shape in front of our eyes. We're going to have Sunshine on the Leoric, Trader on Falstad, Chef on with their Prone playing that Throne. As I mentioned, I was kind of hyping up Prone's Thrall play earlier. I've been watching him in the other leagues. He's a great Thrall player, so keep an eye out for him. And then LZ Gamer rounding out the draft for 2-arc, playing the Kael'thas.
And on the flip side here for Formation, Stealth, Master Earth, Dauntless, Bamursha, and Kingfisher. Not the Fisher King, but Kingfisher. As we do go off into our 5-mans here into the mid, typically we do see the team scuffle a little bit here. A little bit of a better forward position, I think, for Meriden.
Now, free level 4 is easy to boss around because he doesn't have that hardened bones, but we actually see Formation Gaming is the one on the back foot. I call this the proverbial bumping of the fists. All 5v5 meet up. They try to get an early takedown, but Meriden almost going down there, and now here comes the part where these teams are going to try to clear these waves as fast as they can, and as I mentioned, 2-arc has the one up on that, and just kind of do that song and dance between mid lane, top lane, go back and forth, clear the lanes, and just try to catch someone out on the rotations.
Well, catching Dauntless is absolutely going to be huge. Kept picking up that first blood already, about 45 seconds into the game. The Monk, you know, when he's forward, it's great because he could just go to a teammate or a creep or nobody that's behind that gate, and he had nowhere to go after that. And as I said, you know, this roaming propensity will favor teams with a harsher engage. And look at Chrome Bottom, even winning out so very much up against Stealth. It is just not looking like the early game for Formation.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Thrall is deceptively good in a solo lane situation. He's such a versatile pick. That's why he's had so much priority, a big surge recently in the North American meta. We see Meriden sweeping down here. Throne's got to be careful. He's going to get away. So they've looked to rotate on top of Crone, instead of contesting this push, Formation Gaming, I think they realize they can't contest with the wave clear that 2ARC has. They're trying to gain themselves an advantage elsewhere, putting a lot of pressure in their bottom lane and almost getting a tier 1 tower.
Yeah, almost. That's the kind of big problem right there. They didn't. They needed a few more shots. They need that experience, and they're going to need it post-haste here as well. I mean, Kingfisher by himself not really able to do too much, and now Master Earth and this bottom lane crew, they're just going to keep ping-ponging in and around and just visiting these different lanes, and they're collecting gems. They're putting on pressure. They are not allowing Formation to push out, and that is going to lead them into a very defensive mindset, and that's going to make it very hard to put in gems.
LC Gamer caught out of position. If there's an Ancient Spirit, he should be going down, and that is the first takedown for Formation Gaming. They had themselves on the board. Stealth has got out. Trader with a good flight up there, catching him out of position. And everyone on Formation is pretty low. We see the heals from Monk trying to do what they can. Hammer Justice onto Dauntless. Should be able to get away there. So one takedown going for Formation Gaming there. The first one of the match. At least they got themselves on the board. But already, I mean, we're not even 2.5 minutes. Look at that experience.
And unfortunately, Shane, just going to have you tap your mic there a few times as... Nope. Just do whatever you need to do to reset it there, buddy. Level 4 coming in here from 2ARC. Level 4, of course, does give him that extra talent. And there goes the Rainer. He just gets blown up immediately. Master Earth a little bit too far forward here. Sunshine is going to be looking to just slow him down. Do we got that Dwarf Toss ready to go? Well, it won't actually need it, but Morsha and Dauntless are there with the body blocks. But still, damage all around. 3 kills to 1. And 2ARC is definitely, again, feeling this early game with their synergies. Nope, I'm sorry, sir. There you go. Keep talking now. I have no idea what you're doing to your microphone. If we need to reset it, we can. I'm just going to watch Trader just get away with a barrel roll here. So he's going to be A-okay. LZ Gamer now up top again. Like, they're just pushing and pushing. Towers are starting to now pay the price here as well. Sheth and LZ putting up a good front up there. And against this stealth pick, I mean, this Tassadar, unfortunately, just not really having the lane presence. Up against Crone. Crone himself with 19 gems now to put in. That should be enough for that turn, and there's the 50, as the blue web weavers will be descending. And Sunshine and Crone, I mean, if they push in this bottom lane, Stealth himself not really going to be able to put up too much of a fight, and I can't say the scales are going to be tipped here with the Monk. It's not going to be a damage Monk here either. Transcendence, the Protector Shield, it's clearly not a damage Monk. I'm going to give Shane a little test here.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, welcome back.
I apologize, guys, but let's get back into this match. So the first wave of Web Weavers come down here, level 7, almost here for 2ARC. Traders in some trouble. They should be able to secure this takedown. There it is. The Q coming out from Kingfisher, taking a little bit of the wind out of the sails of 2ARC right now, but down in the bottom lane, these pushing in, and we're going to see a lot of structures go down here. That race to level 10 well under its way for 2ARC Gaming right now. Yeah,
and as I said, a little bit of the towers now going down. We haven't really gotten a lot of structural damage here from Formation. Again, I was looking for a Sylvanas pick by the end of it, but with this Tassadar instead, the push just really isn't there. The Web Weavers are getting a lot of core experience here for 2ARC, and that's putting them far in the lead here to a race to 10.
So bottom lane, the lone Web Weaver available still as the mid-fort is about to be taken out here, and that is a very high-value first wave of Web Weavers. Generally, you just see some Tier 1 towers go down. You generally don't see forts go down unless there's a Sylvanas on the enemy team or something like that, but 2ARC, they're taking that momentum, and Karazim gets caught completely out of position. The Thrall was able to get that Feral Spirit root, followed up by just a follow-up from the false dad, and take...
I don't know what your mic's doing to me, Mr. Shane. I'm so sorry. Sonia's just going to have a little bit of a dirt nap there as, yeah, I see that face. Stealth now low mana, has a shield, but, I mean, Trader just basically flies right on top of him, puts him down, and now Master Earth is going to be on the retreat here as well. It's almost Lemming style that the deaths are rolling in and in. It's always one here, one there, and again, like, a lot of experience has now been just forked over here to 2ARC. They clean up the entire bottom lane, the entire mid lane, multiple kills under their belt, and now it's going to be a level 10 to 8 scenario that Formation has to defend with.
I'm doing some troubleshooting here, trying to figure this out, guys.
You sound good to me for now.
My apologies. I think I know what's going on right now, but I'm not going to be able to fix it until after the match. My compressor is just muting me randomly for some reason, but we're going to try to remedy that here.
That's
so,
silly,
guys,
silly trolling mixer right there.
Level 10 here for 2ARC, and they can really just continue to dictate the flow of this match. They're doing an invasion on the side of Formation Gaming, going over their their Bruiser camp. They're going to be able to pick this up easily. They still have a healthy amount of bank of gems left. They can fall back, turn this in, continue to keep that pressure on the map, force these guys back, But Formation Gaming, they got to play defensive, soak efficiently, don't give up any more takedowns, get themselves to level 10 as quickly as they can, or else they're going to find this game getting out of hand pretty quick.
Well, I mean, so far, even just abusing the level advantage and the fact that we can't fight here from Formation, Duark has gone in and swept away those bruisers. So not only are they getting no creep pressure out of this, they're about to get a second set on just marching down that mid. LZ Gamer and Crone able to pick that up, and top of things as well, the bottom double giant's going to be pushing down this bottom lane. And again, it's just kind of coming up all aces here early game from Tuark. They have the level advantage. It's going to be a long while until we see that level 10. And Sunshine, I mean, what are you going to do? He just hits that button, he wind walks away, and now Crone up against Master Earth. I mean, like, this shouldn't be a kill on the Dwarf, but the turnaround is absolutely real.
So Master Earth has a...
that trolling compressor, man. Just throw it under the bridge. Trolls belong under bridges. You can tell him that Four Core Jester sent him there. Again, no pressure here from Formation. They're basically stuck in other lanes, and still with that level 10, we are just going to abuse that fact. And well, there goes that boss. It's a pretty easy grab, and even with that ultimate now going down as well, there's no avatar on this Muradin. There's no CC reduction, there's no bonus health. We just throw down the Phoenix, we have the Sundering, out goes the Dwarf, and now a boss pushing down this top. I mean, do we even have enough? We clearly have enough for another turn in. Tuark is going to even just add insult to injury, and this is all before level 10 of Formation Gaming. Shane has actually gotten up from his chair and stalked out of the room. I suspect he's throwing the compressor out the window. But as things go on, the Gust, Bamorsha not going to be going anywhere. Forcewall goes out for the defense. Finally, level 10s come in there from Formation. But there's the Entomb that we're looking for. Jimmy, you're not going anywhere. Invulnerabilities are going to be coming out left and right. Sunshine, however, is still standing. LZ Gamer, unfortunately, is not going to be so lucky. But with 12 to 10 combination, the boss pushing down, the Web Weaver's now descending here as well. It's still going to be clear pressure across the board here from Tuark. Dauntless and crew are still pretty much mediated to their defense, but their defense will thankfully at least hold. 7 kills to 3. Jimmy maybe going to be coming back into it with a little bit more of a late game boost. Does have that Hyperion instead of the Rainers, and not really saying anything bad about it whatsoever. You do need that AoE. The Hyperion's great for pushing down the lanes as well. Revolution Overdrive for the movement speed, focused attack, and seasoned marksman. It's a very common build that we see from him. But level 13, is it going to be the Giant Killer? Will that actually be a bigger difference against this beefier Tuark team? And so far, again, like, now they're starting to collapse. They caught Sunshine. Maybe that's a little bit of hubris, but that is going to be a very hefty price if we don't pick up those gems. Crone's going to go for it. He picks up the 20. Sunshine is still there, giving vision, and geez, with that Sunder, Sonya is just going to take a little bit of a time out there in the death queue. Sunshine is still pushing forward there as the Ghost. He's the mobile ward for the team at this round, and now pushing in without no Sonya. I mean, this could probably just be a keep here, Mr. Shane.
Indeed, it will be. As my compressor is now turned off, hopefully the problem has been remedied, guys. I apologize, but we're getting into this match, and first keep going down here, level 13 to level 11. And Tuark right now is just in an absolute dominating position, and the Thrall has just shown its strength. The Thrall with the Leoric, sure, it's not the tankiest of front lines, but there's so much damage potential out there. He'd be so aggressive with it. We see a Mighty Gust disengaging the rest of Formation Gaming, separating Muradin from the rest of his team, and an easy pick.
I'm so sorry, it's not your compressor because you totally just died on me again. Maybe you should host the call. I don't know, but like, there's still a ton of damage going down. Chain bombs are going to be blowing up. Dauntless looks like he's actually going to get to live to fight another day. Or will Trader say no? He flies forward, puts down the lightning rod, and says good night for a 4-0 sweep. You saw the Gust actually used there. The Avatar, the Dwarf Toss. Muradin didn't go anywhere. And because the Gust, again, like, we have Divine Palm on this monk. There was no monk to get in range of the Muradin. He goes down. He's toast. And we didn't even, like, use the Palm right there. It's still actually not on cooldown. So there was no good targets for the Palm. You lose your front line. The Sonya just took a dirt nap as well. Even adding insult to injury, Trader flies forward with the kills. 12 kills for. The keep is done. I mean, I don't think we could have ended the game right there. But at the same time, I don't know, Mr. Shane. I mean, a lot of us said Tuark is going to be the heavy favorite in this one. And so far, they're playing to their cards.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, man, and you could say they're playing really, really well up against the Formation Gaming. And right now, we just take a look at the gems. We see they still have a huge pool. I mean, Crone has 24. Trader still has 10 of them. and they continue to build that momentum. Level 16, not too far off for them. The window of opportunity that Formation has available to them is starting to dwindle very, very quickly. They need to hit that level 13, get even on those talents, and then find an opportunity to get something going for them. Obviously, that bottom lane is always going to be a nuisance, pushing it all the time. They should be able to take care of that. Shouldn't be able to put too much pressure into the core. But they got to get something going right now before 2ARK hits level 16, before they get another red web. They don't look like a team fight. It looks like they're trying to get one right now.
Yeah, and if they do actually get one, I mean, this is the best time to fight. They just hit 13. There's no 16, as he said, and, well, it's tough. I mean, they even got the bruisers here to push forward with them. I mean, this is a bad spot for them, but it's probably their best bet.
Yeah, Webweaver's looking down the barrel. Tassadar, oh, he had that level 13 talent prescience. And an aggressive dwarf toss forward. The Sundering, unfortunately, the Sundering way off mark. An uncharacteristic mistake coming out from the Thrall player there. But the big disengage, a Mighty Gust right there, kept Formation back. And now Murden's taking a lot of damage. Sonya's by herself. She's doing a lot of damage to the back line, but she's got to be careful not to get separated out. She is pulling away. Master is very, very low. He has to get out of there and just heal up. And 2ARK is on the aggressive, man. They hit that level 16. Palantir is advantage is showing itself. It's her ugly head. Sonya's going down, ladies and gentlemen. This might just be the end of the game. Any more takedowns? The bottom wave of Webweavers will be pushing in the floor, and I think this is going to be the this match.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to be ending this, Mr. Shane. I'm just going to let your mic deal with itself here on our breaks. But 16-13 and a very convincing win to our gaming. We both agreed, you know, their draft was a little bit stronger. They definitely played to the strength of this map. They did their roaming. They got the kills early. They got a level 10-8 difference. And they just never really let it go.
Hopefully it's working, guys.
Yeah, oh, that sounds great.
I apologize.
I have a solution we might try on the AFK. Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
I know, right? But we're not quite there yet. Either way, if you take a look at the brackets, which unfortunately I cannot show you guys, but I'm sure if you ask a mod in chat very nicely, they will print it out for you. 2ARK will now move on to face up against Team Nom. And like, not Vietnam, like Team Nom Nom, Nom Nom, like they're eating something. So I just want to call them Team Pac-Man for whatever reason. But Formation Gaming, you know, they put their best foot forward. It didn't work.
Well, I mean, 2ARK, again, they were the favorites going into this. They played very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And to put it nicely, they completely outclassed them. They drafted better, they played better, they executed better. Every metric you could imagine, they just had a one-up over on Formation Gaming. And that happens at these amateur tournaments. Obviously, Formation Gaming can fall back, learn from this experience, come back next week, and try to have a little bit more success. And it is always pretty brutal in the first round being put up against one of the strong teams, but that happens. If you want to be a good team, you got to be able to beat the best, right? So, guys, we're going to remedy this situation and bring up the next match as soon as we can.
All right, so we're going to take a quick AFK, hit the music. We're going to try to work out these mic issues so that we can hear the wonderful, resplendent voice of Shane Gucher. Up next, I don't know if we're following 2ARK or not, but of course, we will let you know. So do stick around, Divergent Gaming, to continue here in a few. Don't go anywhere.